Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. I think my contractor just knocked the kiddie bowl out. Over. Oh, it's okay. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? I would like you to, I'm going to give you this is going to be a short exercise on how to shift yourself out of just stupid crap that's going on. Oh, where's Hacker T Dog? So we want to get out of that. We're doing it. Well, everything else reinforces that. You need to take drugs to feel better. Are you depressed? Take drugs. This is great. We love it. Oh, and then your kidneys might feel. Yay, and then we'll have to take drugs for the kidneys. Eat the junk food. Here's the junk food. You know, people eating it and you're going, I have to have it. This is we're programming each other. Well, the lower densities are trying to program the higher frequencies, and a lot of them are falling for it. They're going, yes, let's order the pizza. Let's go to the fast food. Let's, you know, and spiraling down. I have one thing for you to ask yourself. When you have a negative thought, so we do the 3-second manifesting, so there's other stuff that goes on with that. Great practices. But again, if you continually believe that you can't have what you're focused on, not going to happen. So let's get away from the manifesting what you desire right now. Let's get into clearing up your head. This one works for me beautifully, especially back when I was going through a lot of changes and I would find some triggers. Then, you know, you're experiencing these feelings going, okay, what is this, you know? You can be in an awakened state and experience all that, believe me. You will continue to experience these things on some level. And then they sort of just don't even show up anymore. I asked myself one thing. You guys might have heard me do this before. What would the enlightened Landria do? And I actually imagine, like if you're in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, imagine the enlightened you laying in the bed next to you that's serene, that's laying there. What would the enlightened, and then put your name in, do? What would the enlightened Landria do? And I actually start to focus on how I would feel and think. I wouldn't be thinking. If I was enlightened, I wouldn't be thinking, right? How would I feel and think if I was enlightened? And then I start to focus and imagine that. And I go, oh, I would know that everything always turns out perfectly. I would know that I'm always loved and taken care of. I would know that all those thoughts are just made up stories. I would know that I'm here for such a higher purpose, but much higher purpose than all the stuff that's going on that I have to concern myself about. Landria, who's enlightened, doesn't concern herself with anything. She's confident. She has total faith. And so you start to go into that space. You actually start to feel your frequency go up and you're going, wow, what would the enlightened me do? The enlightened me would say, thank you. Thank you for this experience. I know this is going to take me to something brighter and greater, because the enlightened you is still experiencing some of the things in your life. The enlightened you sees it differently. The enlightened you sees that the value in everything that the unenlightened you is battling, doesn't want. That's the ego going, it shouldn't be happening. And the enlightened you says, oh, should be happening. Thank you. It's my gift. What do I need to change here? Or what needs to fall off so that I can go to that higher frequency where my life is going to be perfect and beautiful. And I will no longer be concerned about money and all these other things. That's always going to flow. It's always going to be there for me. I know that. The enlightened me always has that. Because it's not battling anything. So when things come, the enlightened me says, oh, here's another lesson. All right, I'm going to experience what it's like as a human to go through these challenges. And you will still have those feelings of not, you know, a little bit of pain, being uncomfortable, sadness. Or I had a friend who's just like myself. You know, one parent dies and then right after that the other parent dies. And for me it was then a cousin and a dog and a kitty and my brother, and I mean, it just kept going and going and going. It's like you experience this and I go, okay, what do I do with this? Well, I didn't experience anything negative toward any of that anyways, because I was already in that state where I don't see that as a negative. I see it as part of life. Even these things that you experience that you think are, negative, it's part of life. It's happening because you haven't learned something, or you have ordered something that you desire to kick it up a notch, and things have to fall off. That's all it is. Don't view it as something negative if you want to go to that higher frequency. Because if you see it something negative, you're going to struggle and suffer. If you see it, okay, what am I getting from this? Why am I in this situation? The enlightened me would say, wow, I've been functioning like a dense human that's struggling for the, the material world to make it happy. And that's just not all true. The enlightened me is going to act and think differently. And probably not think much at all, by the way. The enlightened me has a knowing that everything's always perfect. And that everything is always going to turn out perfect. And that I'm going to be loved and cared for forever. Unconditionally, no matter what I do. That I'm forgiven, and now it's time for me to forgive others. And bless everybody in my way that seems to be negative. Thank you. Thank you. You have tried my patience. You've tried my ability to forgive. And now I'm going to triumph, because the enlightened me is going to do all those things and release it all. Release it all. And go to that next level, and you go, oh, I don't have to ask what the enlightened me would do. I am the enlightened me. And the enlightened me goes into this peaceful space and says, wait a minute, I'm still in the same room, but it looks different. It's brighter. Wow, things are going to change now. I can sense it. And I'm going to take those steps toward change. And I'm going to treat everybody as a beautiful, perfect light being. And when somebody does something really nasty, you'll find yourself laughing. Sometimes when somebody gets nasty, it's funny. Because it's like, oh, that's that character in my play that's being a goofball, that's acting angry. But as a lower ego, you absorb it and you go, oh, it's personal. And nothing's ever personal. Nothing's personal. They're reflecting what they are. Angry people are angry with themselves, not you. They strike out because they think they can. Good luck with me. It has no... I love to play with it. But if you go through the world just saying I'm enlightened, you will actually become enlightened. You realize, wait a minute, I don't have to worry about anything. Does this make sense? Try it. It'll blow your mind. Especially if you get into that 3 a.m. sweating. I had a friend who used to lay on the floor, having anxiety attacks. And then you look back and you go, what was that? What? Things, going on, instead of saying, what would the enlightened me do? Wow, okay. And that focus goes into that higher frequency. The focus is on the higher frequency, not how to solve the problem, how I'm going to get out of this hurts. It goes away from that. I know you guys are going to start doing this. I'm going to hear some good stories, so share them with me. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.